how do you cope with these feelings? has that poked?
That is all two children. Because I lost my first baby. Because of that. Nobody realized. I think others enjoy it. When the devil wears gumboots and decides it's your house.
The little memories I have of my mom is that she was a provider. Like she went out of her ways to like provide for us.
Hey, welcome back to yet another episode. This is a special edition because it's May, and in May we celebrate moms. So we had to stop every other conversation because we had to bring in some moms just for us to be able to share the highs, the lows, the beautiful journey of motherhood. So today I have some amazing 3 ladies who will be joining us today, and they'll be helping us answer a few questions, and I'll have them introduce themselves. So maybe I can start from this side. Please tell us who you are. Just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Short version. Government name Gloria Thimbike. Everyone knows me as such. Royal Glow is a playful name.
Nice.
Identity. Who am I? Gloria is a child of God. That's like my whole identity. I'm a child of God, and I have various roles. Among them, I suppose being relevant to today's conversation is mother. My most current and most significant role at the moment is just mothering, being a mom.
Nice. Royal Glow.
The Royal
I'm
Glow.
about to change your name on my phone to that. All right. You can tell us a little bit about yourself.
Government names. Since we are doing government names. Rita, Kabi. Playful name is Rita.
Rita.
And also I identify as the biggest, the biggest thing is that I'm a child of God. I'm a daughter of the most living high God. And yes, I identify as a mother also. Like I'm a mother. Yes, I'm a mother of 2 beautiful children, baby girls, and I'm glad to be here. Thank you, Monday.
Karibu sana. Karibu sana. Let's come over to you.
Hi, so my name is Loise. My government name's Loise Kihara. I'm born again. I identify myself as a child of God too. I'm a mom to 2 beautiful girls, Zuri and Razia, and I'm happy to be here.
Oh, nice. I just love it. You guys are God's children, queens and princesses of children of God. I too am a child of God. And just put it out there. Yeah, Mrs. I also identify as a child of God and proud to be that. So today we'll do it a little bit differently. We have a jar of questions, and I just wanted us to be able to, the jar will go around and we'll each take turns to pick a paper, read the question that's on it, and then the questions will just be prompts for us to be able to bring in the discussions. But let's have fun and enjoy. So such a on this side. Royal Glow.
And on this left-hand corner, we have... can you share a particular challenging moment in your journey as a mother and how you overcame it?
Hey, mans are so serious.
That is deep.
Wow.
For the deep end.
For me, so I have a 3-year-old who's turning 4. Her name is Isabel. I think so far, what I would say from the moment the journey started to now, the most tedious thing, the most uncomfortable and challenging thing I'd say was breastfeeding. So when I started breastfeeding, I have inverted nipples. That's a thing.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So they they put in like a syringe and then and then it's supposed to do what. And that was really painful.
So I had to pull it out.
it's not inverted like it's inside. I don't know, but I was told like I would qualify for that. So one of the things that I really struggled with was my nipples cracked and there was bleeding. But then the worst thing that happened is I remember my sister-in-law had actually told me to buy lanolin. Is that what it's called? Is that the correct lanolin? Yes, that cream. And I, for whatever reason, I just hadn't gotten it, and it was so, you know, I just remember having times where I'm just breastfeeding and she would stay at the nipple for so long. You know, there are so many, when you watch YouTube, there are like different babies. Some will breastfeed for like 15 minutes. She was always there. I'm like, you're not doing anything, just let it go. And I remember just having thoughts around, is she sucking my blood? Is she okay? Am I, you know, it was just so traumatizing for me. Then I remember that lanolin thing. And you know, that thing just cured within like under a day, after a week, or like, it might have actually been like 2 or 3 days, but it felt like 5 years, and it was just nasty. But the cream just sorted it out very quickly. So simple things.
Oh my God. Let me just look into that, because this breastfeeding journey, and any of you can feel free to chime in, but this breastfeeding journey, I feel, is the one of the things no one prepared me for. What? Because I went through the same thing. Like, I didn't know it would be painful like that. So I can relate, because I also had the cracked nipples, and it's so, every time the child will come, she just
yeah, like it's supposed to be a moment where you're bonding, but it's like, I don't want you on me.
Yeah, and you're trying to make sure you know, position the baby properly. The baby seems to be latching, but for whatever reason,
they're just not there.
Oh my gosh. I remember I had to call, like, make some emergency calls to other moms, like, is this normal? Is this okay? Am I doing it right? I remember one friend I called, she was just like, imagine, I've been there, and now she was telling me, I even bled, but she was like, the solution, just keep breastfeeding. What? I remember I even bought, there's some other things that were called
the plastic
protectors.
Ones.
I remember someone told me about them. They were being sold, I don't know how far. Like, the delivery was going to cost me like 2K. I was just like, Daddy, bring. And they didn't help. But eventually, I think also breast milk helped me. Applying breast milk afterwards. Because I think I also tried some nipple cream. I tried everything anyways. Yeah.
I remember just watching videos, and you're just like, is this a thing? Does this happen? Is it a punishment for something? And it's like, no, it's not normal.
Right.
And just thinking back, it actually lasted like under 3 days before I got the cream, and then everything was just gone. And at that moment, looking back, it feels like so far back.
I think, like you said, I think it should be taught to you know, pregnant women, like breastfeeding should be, you expect this, because I think you don't expect it, so you're there, you're wondering, am I the problem? Am I latching this baby properly? Am I sick? Should I even go to hospital? Like you said, is my baby sucking my blood? I think it should be talked about more often, honestly. Even in the journey, you're told you should be, because I remember mine now are inverted, like they were inside, so she couldn't like get hold of it. It was a whole thing. My child cried for like my firstborn, like for 3 days straight, because now she can't get milk. Yes, by the time they are offering her none, but it was a matter of survival. Either this child, because she was crying day and night. By the time my nipple now comes out, and then after it comes out, now it's the crack. It was a whole thing. I think breastfeeding should just be talked about more.
Does it get easier when you have like other children? Did you struggle with your second?
Of course, the first one brings it out.
Okay.
But the second one, it becomes better.
The first one is a nightmare.
It's the first one. Nobody teaches you anything. You think motherhood is just roses. You just get a child.
Just latch.
Just smooth sailing.
Smooth sailing. People will be there to bake and call. Massaging your feet. The ghetto, guys. It's the ghetto. It's the ghetto. Thank God. They are blessing nonetheless.
I remember crying most of the time while I was breastfeeding, especially the first 3 days because of the cracking of the nipple. Then now you have like a kidonda there now, the wound, whoosh. every time like they latch on it, the pain goes up to the brain. Like you feel every the way they're just latching. It's so painful. Yeah, that is one of among the things that I really face. Like a challenge for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but are we supposed to talk about
Yeah. So
challenges?
yes, you can.
You guys
go
need to
right
go through
ahead.
colic. Like colic. Because you see, this child is not latching properly to your breast, right? So they're sucking in air, which you try. It's for those ones, put the baby here, the baby here. You're watching videos. This child, you're supposed to bump the child. For me, guys, after dealing with the poop, it's the colic. Because now they even start crying. This child will not sleep.
Yeah.
She starts crying. You're buying every medication written colic. I had like 4. Those ones. You know, the baby doesn't sleep. She used to sleep here like for 2 hours. Just trying to bath. She'll sleep here like 2. Can you imagine 2 hours? You're just holding the baby. Now, choker. Colic for me was a big deal, guys.
But I didn't have that.
I mean, Zuri had
She
it.
wasn't.
My firstborn had colic.
Your firstborn had it. I also think our first and second had experienced colic. And it was, you're awake at night, your baby's in pain, you're trying to do all the massages, the tummy and the teeth and whatnot. Yeah, so.
Okay, one I didn't
question.
have
I
to
don't know,
do.
do you have anything else to add? Let me see a particularly challenging moment in your journey as a mother and how you overcame it. I think I can think of 2, and I don't know which one to highlight. So one, I remember when I was pregnant with my last 2. First of all, I had to be put on bed rest. Because like the first one, I can't remember, but then I can't remember what the issue was. But I remember I was limping because of a pain I kept having. So that was one. And then with the last born, either maybe that issue progressed because now I had a clot. In fact, it started one day as me going to the bathroom, and then I just started like bleeding, like there was blood. Let me tell you, that was so scary and so I remember like calling for my husband, I screamed, and then now my daughter was there like, what, mom? So I was like, oh my god, okay, let me compose myself, because now I also didn't want to scare her. So my husband came, I told him, okay, I don't know what's going on, but I am bleeding. So we went to the hospital. The doctor checked me. Now that's when they noticed I have a blood clot and I had to be put on bed rest. And let me tell you, because I remember the drive to the hospital, I'm just asking myself, hey, is this baby gone? Like, do I have, as in I was like, is this womb empty or is the baby still there? Like, I remember that journey that drive to the hospital was the longest ever. Even now sitting, like I felt like the doctor is taking long. Then when he put that thing, I felt like it's just silent, like the silence was deafening, you know, just waiting to hear that heartbeat. So that was really such a scary experience and a very challenging one.
Yeah.
Okay, there are many, but is there anyone else who wants to share?
Yeah, I mean, my pregnancies are well, that's not my story because I'm a child of God, children of God. I usually have hypertension, like gestational HBP, and it's crazy because you're put on meds, and so I have four CS scars, but I have 2. No, I have 3 CS scars, but I have 2 children because I lost my first baby. Because of that, nobody realized. I think at a CG when the devil wears gumboots and decides it's your house. Anyway, up to 8 months. So I lost my child at 8 months.
Oh my!
I was like this, so swollen. I couldn't even recognize myself. So I go to hospital, and because we decided, my mom is like, hey, we need to go to Kenyatta, and because now you're in your final stages, we go and look at Kenyatta as a hospital. When we go, and the Kenyatta is usually like this, it's the national, it's like this. I was put on a wheelchair. Everybody was being moved out of the line. I was like, wait, what is going on? So you're taken on that table, so they're listening again to the heartbeat. The doctor listens, he comes up back with another guy, a doctor. They came back how many? 4 doctors. I'm like, I'm asking him, what's going on? As in, is there a problem? He's like, no, it'll be fine. Because then my levels are okay. So they don't want to panic me also for it to even become worse. And so that experience was really bad because I remember I had to be stabilized. My blood pressure had to be stabilized so that I can go into theater. And when I went to theater, my child, I remember the only thing that I ever saw of her, because it was a girl, was that thing they put in there trying to give her oxygen. Yeah, and unfortunately she passed.
So sorry.
But now, the worst part was, the way our national hospital can be. I don't know whose fault it is, and we don't want to look for blame right now. But I was put in the ward where the people had children, had delivered.
Oh my.
So left and right.
Oh
it's
my
just children.
So
and that is the time when you go for a CCS, you go for 5 days. I cried. I've never cried like that. I was like, God.
Yeah.
Of all the other things I've ever done, I don't think I deserved to be in such a place. Like every but anyway, God gives you things that you can be able to. It's a lesson, and there's nothing that He gives you because He hates you or because you cannot handle it.
Yeah.
And so I'm so happy because I appreciate just going through pregnancy and being fine because God is also a restorer. In my other pregnancies, now my firstborn Tendai, I had it towards the end, but I was ready. I was not panicked. I trusted Him, and things became okay. I delivered a child. As much as I did have it was not as bad. And then in my second pregnancy, my second born Tana, I didn't have it at all. Because when I knew I was pregnant, I was like, you know what, God, man, check on me. I cannot go through this. Remove this cup from me. And guys, believe me, not a single day, even towards my third trimester, because that's when it becomes really crazy. Not a single day did my pressure go up. So I'm really thankful. That was a lesson I learned, but I thank God. Nothing is nothing is ever from God that is supposed to hurt me. I'm so thankful I went through that.
I just want to sit there a little bit because I know there are probably other moms who, they are moms because they had children who unfortunately passed on. And I just wanted to ask, what was the grieving process like for you?
You go home after now having stayed in the hospital
where there are
kids. And the way newborns cry, there's that come away, that's what you've carried a pregnancy for 8 months, looking forward to this moment, and you're living. You don't have it, so you go home. So your body now it checks in, the milk starts coming out.
Oh wow,
guys! I was at home. If somebody could have been named crying at that point, I used to cry even just you come and you, hey, hi, I've come to see you. Like the milk, I'll never forget the milk. My mom told me, don't worry, this is not the last. Because hey guys, I don't know if you understand what it means. Because I could not understand why. But now looking back, is that I was not married. I was in a relationship that was not, not a very good relationship. So I was not married. So I was to be a single parent. And maybe that was God just, leveling the playing field and seeing that this child will not grow properly. And I cannot even begin to figure out why God did it. But so the grieving was there. There was milk, and then you have to go back and check your CS car again. Children with babies, the people you are with in the ward. Hi, they're so excited to see each other with their babies. How is your child? The conversations around you are like, it's colic, it's breast, nipple. They were just there, like, oh my God. So it was a constant for a month there. But I remember my friend was like, you cannot keep on holding on to this thing and expect God to have space to bless you ever again. So you need to come to terms with it. So I think I went through the process. It's
allowing yourself to grieve.
It's the grieving, it's the
denial, anger.
I went through all that, and it's crazy because you bought clothes.
Oh,
You see the clothes.
Because it's 8 months.
Yeah, you're ready to have your baby.
Waterworks for days.
Yeah.
You go, you're showering, you see your sky, you're like, I haven't checked.
It's
Why?
not.
It's not.
Like, it's not aligned.
It's not making
Make it make sense.
So I went, for real, I went through all those. And finally, I had to come to acceptance, you know, I just accepted. It happened. And now you're here, you have to move on. And then when you meet somebody, it's the stories. You know, somebody wants to tell you sorry.
Yeah.
You understand that they want to say sorry.
That's actually such a good point. Hey, yeah, this question clearly has brought out a lot, but that's a really good point, because how would you advise like people who are around you, like what, because I can relate to like people I actually know right now who've lost their child. And when you meet them, you don't know what to say. Like, do you keep saying? Like, what do you say? Like, how you do? You know, you don't know whether to ask how you doing, because obviously you're not okay. How would you like speak to the people who are surrounding someone who's grieving, or what did you need at that time?
At that time, you need people, people's support. But hearing the word sorry, as much as it's important for you to cry, it's important for you to cry. It's part of the process.
Yes.
So if you don't cry, and you have missed something there that will affect you down the road. So you need to cry, yes. But you, first of all, the one thing you say is, you Ati, I understand. You understand what? You don't understand me losing a child. That's the worst thing you can ever tell somebody. Ati, I understand. It will look as if you're mocking me, but you just did lose an 8 months. So my child, I'm not holding my child. What do you mean you understand? So I was also understanding my friends, because they came and they had that
can look.
Okay, so what do we say? So people who are walking on eggshells, they don't really know what to say. But sometimes you just want to be around conversations that are not that. You understand? It's not about. So it's not every time. Can you imagine? Like everybody coming to see you talking about the same thing. The same thing. Sometimes you want the conversations to be different, even for yourself to think of other things and stop crying, because you just wait and wait. But also you as a visitor, when you come, when I reach somewhere, tunachapa story, so it will be general, and we are talking, we are catching up with your friends, and then I'll reach a place and I'll start crying. You're just supposed to give me a hug, hold me, don't how you feel. No, it will be a rabbit hole, you understand? Just hold me at that point, hug me, reassure me, tell me God is in control. Sometimes it doesn't look as if he is, but there is no one thing to say. What I know for sure not to say is that you understand, because clearly you don't. That's the one thing I can say. Right. Just be there for them, show up for them, show up for people. Need people at that point. Hey people, you need your friends to come to, and just be your friends, because if you imagine you're going through that and nobody comes to see you, so it's as if watu wanaku cause you have lost a child. No, you should go. Me, I would say, for my part, I don't know if it's because of my personality also. I like people. So the story, my mind was getting off that whole story. Okay. And we were talking about different things. Don't bring me back to that story. When Loise, you come to see me, so what happened? I'll never get out of it. I'll never. And I don't want to forget it, but I want to go through the process of moving on. Okay.
Hey, thank you for sharing that and bringing us into that space.
It has started like...
I know, I'm like, wow, that was gone 1 to 0 to 100 real quick. Oh, this is the same question, sorry. It's actually the same question. What has been the most difficult experience on your journey of motherhood? I feel like that's almost the same.
Challenge and difficulties.
The same. Who made these questions? I wonder
who made these questions.
They're not here.
What has been the most rewarding part of motherhood for you? Hey, what has been the most rewarding? That's now what can I say? Gosh, so many things. Let me say, I think the most rewarding has been seeing my children just grow. I feel like, so right now I have 3 children. I have a 9.5-year-old, a 4.5-year-old, and a 3.5-year-old. And I think just watching them go through each and every milestone and seeing them also starting to sort of like they have their different personalities.
Yeah.
There are times I sit and watch these kids and I'm like, first of all, you guys are behaving like grown adults, like humans, and just seeing them. Like my last born daughter has a very strong personality. She's very endearing, and I think she knows it. So there are times she uses it to her benefit. You know that I know when she's done something wrong because she comes and says, "I love you, Mom." I'm like, "Oh, what have you done? What have you been doing?" And I'm just like, anyway. And then my son, he's such a gentle. I feel like he's such a gentle, responsible, particular, specific. Like he's the one you tie the shoelace. I don't know how. No, please tie it properly. Or want something to be kept. Very meticulous. My firstborn daughter is she has such a big heart, loves people, are very kind, and just watching all those different personalities morph and form. It's just so rewarding. And then coming home and people run towards you. Mom, you're home. It's just such a joy. Of course, 10 minutes in when they're now, Mom, you're like, okay, enough. But I feel like that's just watching my children going through their milestones has been so rewarding. We can come to start with you, then we go this way.
So
Wow.
I think my daughter has come with a lot of character development for me personally. It was not a planned pregnancy. It wasn't something that I said, I'm not married, I'm parenting by myself, me and Jesus and the Holy Spirit at the moment. So that's my current situation. So I'd say what has been the most rewarding thing for me being a mom is being able to learn from her. And a lot of times it's me understanding God, because like I see this child, I see how she behaves, I see her struggles, and then I can just relate with, that's how I am with God. You know, like from the tiny things, the way you'll give her something and she's misusing and abusing stuff, and you're like, oh, okay, that's probably me and God. And I've just learned so much from her. And then also growing from a perspective of, it's so easy to be a single person and your whole life is just about you. And you have someone else and you have to take care of them, and they kind of grow you. Because I have the type of personality, I won't spend too much time trying to convince other people this, that, like, there's an element of care I'll give to people around me that if they reject, I'm also okay with, like, I'll back off. But it's not the same with your child. When it comes to your child, you have to deal, you have to cope, you have to, like,
find it in there.
you have to, there's no, you're on leave today and you just kind of let things go. So with that comes, like, your patience grows, your personality, even just having to, my daughter and me, our personalities are different. So even just that growth of, okay, you have to care, accommodate, and it's not just on a high level where you're like, when I leave, you know, it's not like the office where you deal with your boss and you're like, then when you get home, you're like this, you know, you have all your comments and your thoughts, but this is someone who you're supposed to have stewardship over.
Right.
Yeah, I think that growth I've really enjoyed. Growth spiritually, mentally, emotionally, then also to hugs. I love you, mommy. And you're picking her up from school and she runs at you and she's so excited. You're like, no one is this excited to see me. So just, love.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Can come over to you.
Hey, wedding. Me, I think it's the same. I'm somebody's hero. Like, out there, I'm done. Because I need you. But when I walk through my door, my dad's like, she's I live for that. And I think it's the joy. They bring joy. I didn't expect that I didn't have joy. Like when you're single, you're living your best life, you know. Then you become a mother.
Yeah.
And there's another joy. You are actually actually happy about this little person.
Yeah.
So it's a joy for me. It's so rewarding to just see the joy that I enjoy motherhood with. And you know, the way you enjoy to be a mother.
Yeah.
Means that, yeah. I would say that is my most rewarding things about motherhood.
That's true. There's another level of joy. That's so true.
Yeah.
Can come over to you, Loise.
I think for me, I have like so many, but maybe two. So the first one is bonding, especially when you're breastfeeding your new baby. Like you're looking at her, the way she's like looking at you, like you're my world. She doesn't know what's going on. She just know you are my provider for this food. And then when they grow up, the sloppy kisses, they just kiss you, and then they just fuck at you, saliva everywhere. I think those sloppy kisses, the two small hugs, the million times of calling you mommy, I think they're so rewarding. And then now for my, especially now my girl is 5, so we are in this stage where she's starting to know herself. So if she sees you like applying like an eyeliner, she wants to do the same. So that bonding with her, it has become so personal for me. Like I'm getting this child. She's mine, you know, I don't know.
This little person.
Yeah, so I love there's a way you will just bond with them differently. Because with my 2-year-old, there's a way like she'll just come and hug you. She wants you to read books for her. So we bond with her through reading. With my firstborn, it's different. So talking, seeing her what I do, and then she like imitate. Yeah. That's it for me.
That's so awesome. Thank you for sharing. Do the honor.
All right. Hey, what's the best and the worst thing about being a mother?
Oh.
Of course, the best thing I think can go with the reward. The best thing is about, I think that title mom is a very important title. Me, I go back to the Bible and say that's the one thing I'll stand before God and ask me, I give you this responsibility. You have been given a responsibility to multiply. You've multiplied. Okay, have you taught and have you instructed? So being that title mom, guys, I think for me is very big. And so that's one of the best things. And of course, to just be in a journey where you partner with God in the bringing up people. Like you're part of the journey that God talked about, multiplication and reproduction and filling the earth. And then of course again, because I've been on this other side of not holding up a child, so now I really take my moments of motherhood with a pinch of sugar. Is there something like that?
Never had it, but you can be
But the worst thing is how they will try you. Your children are the people who will try you the most, my friend. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, children will try you. Like they will do something and you're looking at them like me. I gave birth to this one. Hey, children will try you. They will, and children will embarrass you. But I think you're even there looking for the mother. Whose mother is whose child is this? Because Uko just making eyes. Where to keep her bunnies? It will go down.
The mommy eyes.
The mommy eyes.
But you see now again it comes back to you as a parent. Have you taught? Have you instructed? It comes back to you.
Yeah.
But so I think that's the worst thing for me is that they will really humble. They will
character develop.
Your own children will do things to you and you're like, hey, did I really sign up for this? Hey, let's have an any of the contract again. Yeah, I think that would be me.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
my best.
I can go next.
Anything to add?
I think the best thing about being a mom is that I'm partnering with God to bring life. I need to like nurture this kid to the way like God want her to like be in future. Like I have a major role to play in her life. So for me, that is one of the best thing about being a mom. Like, and your God, I'm in part of this responsibility. but yeah, man, you know, there's a reason. I think he knew, like, mom, we will love on them, we will like care and nurture them. Yeah, so for me, it's one of the best. The worst will be when my kid is sick. Yeah. The fevers at night, and then you're just there hopeless, you don't know what to do. So me, I don't know, it gets to me, they will be in another room, but I can't sleep.
I feel you.
I'll move out of my room, I go sleep in their room, just to like check on them throughout the night. I think that is the worst thing about being a mom. You're not able to like help them. I don't know, just thinking it right now just give me like goosebumps.
But we are getting
Them being sick, for me, it's the worst. Yeah.
I hear you. Anything to add?
I think the best, we would go with the reward bit of it. For the worst, I think we've done Lea. There's a program Mavuno, I don't know if it's just Mavuno, but we did it in Mavuno, does. And basically what they were walking us through is just the proper understanding of what being a parent looks like. And then I think the worst thing for me would be the reason my child doesn't get to their full potential because of something you did or didn't do. And you know, I was just thinking back when we were doing Lea, I'm reflecting back on my thought on how when I became a parent, how I was going to be a mother, and you know, how I would be a better parent than my father or my mother because I provided more, I provided better opportunities. But what that really showed us is that you can give your child all the money in the world, you can give them, like, the poverty isn't the thing that defines your child, as it is training and teaching and being present and showing them love and also teaching them how to love. So I think the worst thing for me is just to let this person down from that perspective, because you know, the world teaches you different things about parenting, and you think that you're a good parent when your child is in a nice school or I don't know, wears nice clothes, because there's that perception or you think you're a certain way, but just that it's just abusing your child in the way they weren't. You know, like this person was brought up was created by God to be a certain person, have certain things to give. But because of the way you have brought up this child, they're not able to do that, and it can be attributed to you. Like there's a story of Achan. We did that, Joshua, when his whole family, he stole stuff from the church, and then his whole family was stoned. So my child getting stoned. And if you read the Bible, a lot of times you would find God would be angry with a ruler. And when this person humbled themselves, God would say, I will forgive you, but your children will bear the brunt of. And just that thought of, I could just be doing things even that have nothing to do with my child, but then have God's wrath on my child is just
keeps you.
This is a horrible thing to think. It's just also that whole aspect of, I'd want my child to be protected, but I can't actually protect my child, and knowing that my child will have to go out there, they'll have to make whatever decisions they want to make, and I can't control, because I've also been that child for my mother, like brought up a certain way, but thinking, I'm a see for myself. And then you go out and the world isn't exactly what you thought of it to be. So such things just like, oof. Yeah, but you know, you commit it to God and you just hope and trust that. Even the same way Solomon had God's favor, it wasn't about him, it was about his father. But the reverse is also true, so there's hope.
As parents, we have to be.
I know, like, you gotta think everything through. I sort of feel like you guys have touched everything, like I would have also said. I think the best for me is, like I said, watching these kids grow and knowing that one day, yani, my kids will be somebody. There's a plan God has for them, and there are places of influence that, of course, I desire that they will actually be able to get. They'll be influencing spaces. But I guess the worst, or I would even call it maybe scary, and I think there's another question on scary. It's the fact that I will release them to this same world. that is growing darker and darker by the minute. By the minute. I know there's a scripture that talks about as the world darkens, so will God's light, right? I can't say it verbatim, but maybe we'll put it over here. But I know, so sometimes I try to hold on to that hope, but when you look at the things, the belief systems, it's insane. So just knowing that one day I will say, we'll have to release them.
Yeah.
And hope that the things that the foundation that you've built is enough for them to stand on it, and also now their relationship with God, they can hold on to that. Yeah. So that's what I would also say. Yeah. You can pass this over to Loise.
Okay. Let me see.
Excited?
I think so.
What is the one thing you want to teach / pass down to your children? One thing, just one.
Too many.
Can try.
Oh, okay. I think to always rely on God. I think for me, if they grow up to know God, now they know, but it's a bit here and there. But if they grow up to really know God and rely on Him, I think the other things, hizi vitu zote za world, they will come upon them to shake them here and there. But if they stand on the promises of God, they will just imagine. They will stand firm.
Stand firm.
They'll stand firm.
Oh my goodness, I think I want to agree with you, because there's even that verse that says, teach your child
In the way of the Lord, and they'll never
depart from it.
They'll never depart
I think
from
that's
it.
the only comforting thing that you can ever, that's the one person you can trust with your children. Lord, here, even as they grow up, please let them make decisions based on you. That you are the only one. Because if you were to say, what do you want to pass down? You want to pass down what? The business.
Oh, yes.
CG, the go-getter, the confidence. All those things are so fleeting in this world. In the Gen Zs that we are looking at, people who are like my friend, they're being employed and you're employed and they're also
They're employed.
By the time CG, they're Gen Alpha. They're being called
Alpha.
I know. After Gen Alpha will be our kids, maybe.
Alpha, it's them.
It's them.
I think so, yeah.
It's
But
them.
there are also some Gen Alpha now.
And then after
want to.
whatever generation will bring, if Gen Zs, we are talking about them like that. So imagine who they are going to be. I cannot be praying for confidence and see go get. No. I just need God. After Akienda kuwe confident, please bring her back to your knees. So I think my biggest one is to show them, rely, because things will come, like you said. It's for sure. You will be sent things. Things will come to try. Things will bring you down. Your confidence will be questioned every day. Your business acumen will be questioned every day. People will be like, "What? Who are you? Why do you think you can tell us anything?" But the one thing that stands, God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. So if you leave it to God, I think if you rely on Him, even in their teenage years, where people talk about motherhood and it becomes difficult, especially in the teen, whatever. That's what I hear, and I know for myself it was not easy with my mother. So even in that period, God will come through, and when it comes to them making decisions, again, like you said, when you're opening your arms for them to go forth into the world, even in those spaces that you're talking about, these people will bring, excellence that is of God only. It's not of ati alifundishwa huko. Yes, kuna hiyo, but kuna ya God. I think that one is the most important. So I'll rely on God.
Gosh, I feel like I'm about to. I agree with what you guys are saying. What's the one thing you want to teach or pass down to your children? The Christian faith, and the real one. Because unfortunately now, even today, we also have a culture where we are all believers, but we have different beliefs, or even the belief systems or Bible principles. People are are sort of defining what they understand for themselves and living a life that, you know, that is probably different from what would view it as godliness. So just for them to be able to have the truth that's from God, and then also just to be able to live out Christly love. Yeah.
For me, I am big on identity. I'd like to ensure that my daughter, as she grows up, she knows who she is. Who she is and whose she is. Because I feel like it makes, you know, your environment changes, but your identity shouldn't change with it. Because if you look at, you know, when you're thinking about wealth, which I also think of it as such a big gift that God has given me, to have revealed to me who he is. Because, you know, I feel like people struggle when you don't understand God or when you don't know God. So that's what you see a lot of times, the confusion is. And also I've had to live my life, a good portion of my life, wondering who I was, what my identity was. And you'll find that every time I've thought of myself as someone's daughter, I've had to, you know, my identity is pegged on that. So when you're failing as a child, your identity is of course attacked. So just that stability that comes with knowing that you're a child of God before you're anybody's daughter, before you're anybody's wife, before you're anybody's mother, you're a child of God. Like, I'd like for her to know. And then not just know that she's a child of God, but also understand what responsibilities and privileges just come with being a child of God, because I feel that also makes all the difference. And no matter where she finds herself in life, as long as she has that down, she'll always be okay. So I think that's the only eternal thing I can do.
I love that and agree. We are back to you.
Okay. Let us see. What does the word mother mean to you? What does the word mother mean to me? When I say mother, I'm going to put this on my mother as opposed to on me. For me, my mom passed away. My mom was like my safe space, security. That's the person who can't beat anybody, but she could just, you know, you'd tell her something and she would give you back comfort. That was my experience, and a sense of security, even when I wasn't godly. And she would tell me something or pray for me. I don't believe it'll happen because of me, but I believe that she believes, and there's that, you know, someone else, like there's that faith she has over me. So for me, I feel like mother, I'd say, meant security, a sense of security, safety, love, provision, just that covering.
Yeah. So before I move on, like when did you?
I've known my mom till I was an adult. Like 2 years back. So like I knew her for a while. Yeah.
Okay, but still, sorry for your loss. I feel like when you lose a mom, as you're saying, it's that safety. It's that.
Yes. So there's that covering. You feel like has just gone, and I'm also a mama's girl.
Yeah.
So but I don't look at it as a loss as such, because my faith allows me to know that I'll meet her again, and she'll be my sister.
You're making me remind me of that verse that says, "Don't mourn like the people who don't have hope." In again, siwezi kusema
we get you.
Thank you.
We're not going to chase the Nini saying that you're safe.
Is it the same Bible? But yeah, you just reminded me of that verse. Seeing you living it out, that's so awesome. Yeah. For me, I love the angle that you've taking it from the perspective of mother. And I can also just think of my mom, and I'm remembering. So I had my firstborn when before we got married. So like I said, raising a Christian home. In fact, my dad is a pastor. And then I got pregnant before I was married. And I
Hello.
just, speaking to the choir.
You get it? Yeah, she get it.
So I just remember, some of the many things, there's so many things during that journey, I just felt like she embodied what like a mother is, that safety that you said, like the safety, the covering. Because I remember when I told them, which after going through all the journey of I should just run away, or I should, like, all alternatives aside from telling them. So when I eventually told them, because I expected, they would be very angry, I remember like her response was just the complete opposite of what I expected. And I feel like it's just what I needed. So it was just more like, okay, now it's happened, so what do we do? I felt like it was more of, let's take care of you. Let's find out how far along are you. Let's get a doctor. Let's, it felt like, she went into mother mode. Like, let's take care of you first. So it's the care, it's the love, it's nurture, and just so many other things that I would
Acceptance, especially when you're fearing the rejection, and then that doesn't come.
Absolutely, that's exactly the word, acceptance. When you feel like
you don't deserve,
when you feel unworthy, and
especially when you're in a situation because you're doing something that you've explicitly been told not to do.
Yes.
Then you come back and you'd expect me. Sinakwambia.
I know.
Sinakwambianga.
That is so true. That is so it's acceptance when you feel completely unworthy, because it's exactly how I felt. And I think I've said it in another video that acceptance made me relate with the love of God. Yeah, it made me relate with how God loves us, that it's unconditional.
Yeah.
And so that defined, what love is to me. So just tying in what motherhood means to me is, it's that unconditional love. It's that acceptance when you least deserve it. It's the nurturing. It's so many things. Yeah.
The answer could have answered the previous question that we had. Imagine how she accepted you, made you know God.
Right.
So you as a parent, imagine how you behave could affect the relationship between your child.
Oh, it definitely does. It always does.
Absolutely.
But we brought it to our mothers. Even me, when you read the word mother, every other word just like mother, my mom.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to be half the woman, half the mother she is. She is to me, even right now, to my children. And because I was raised by her and Jesus. Come on, Gloria.
Oh, wow.
Her and Jesus. So she gave. And we were not at people who are well off. She gave herself. Like, after her money, after her time, she gave herself for me. Me, I'm the last one. We only two set to go in. But mother alijipeana, like, she gave herself. And so in so doing, I saw her giving herself.
Yeah.
Even when I was a child growing up, I could see, because there's so many things you could lack. And it's not that, Mom, guys are going for a trip to Mombasa, it's 3,000. She's like, 3,000. Right now we don't have 3 Gs. But it's not like, hey, Mom, you don't love me. You see, food, rent, school fees. So you see, it doesn't become a big deal for you. And so, for me, my mom she has gotten me to in places where even niko broke, being broke, and I'm working, niko mbaya. But I told my mom, niko broke. What is the toy with $3,000 from where? And she folded it. It's like, where are you? Mom, don't ask questions, just give me. And she's like, okay. So I want to be that for my children. I think we are friends with my mom. When I go home, we will stay like back in the morning. That's the chapa story. Me and my mom, like, we are friends. And so mother for me is just, for me, is warmth. It's somebody who holds me down. Down. Mother will hold me down. And so I thank God. and I want to behave the woman that she is. I want to be friends with my children, because I do realize now I can be, stop it, Nini. But there's a time they'll be like, Mom, don't come into my room before knocking. Excuse you. So we need to be friends at that point. So I want to emulate my mom. I want to emulate my mom to be friends with my daughters, so that we can have conversations that are really, really hard. People don't take advantage of them, because now I'm a figure of authority, and like, we are not friends. You know, I cannot advise them properly, because they see me as that man, So
principal, deputy.
Yeah, principal. No, I'm the actual parent. Deputy parent is the first one, but I'm the actual parent. But
no, I meant like the way school you did disciplinarian.
Principal.
Deputy.
Yeah, but from when you say mother, for me, it's my mom, warmth.
Oh, that's so nice. So good.
Security, safekeeping, she'll defend me even right now. Even on a firing squad. Yeah. So shout out, Mom, I love you.
Oh, so nice.
Yeah.
Loise?
So for me, mother, it's a very touchy, very sensitive topic to me. I lost my mom when I was in class 2. Okay.
Pole.
So okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
The little memories I have of my mom is that she was a provider. Like she went out of her ways to like provide for us.